Hi everybody, I want to take you through a video on moving your material from your desktop into your Google Drive. Later this summer, Joe is going to be removing the server that keeps all of the material on your desktop here. And for those of you that are moving over to a Mac, that material won't be on here. So you're going to want to be able to move that material onto your Google Drive so that you can access it from anywhere at any time on any device, and you'll be able to easily bring it forward to when you're using it for your classroom. Also, this is a great opportunity for you to get rid of stuff. This would be a nice, really nice spring cleaning. Go through the files that you have. If you haven't used them in 10 years, more likely than not, you won't be using them going forward. And it's just a great opportunity to get rid of stuff. I taught fourth grade for 6 years, and I moved on to teaching gifted support at the middle school, and I kept all that fourth grade material just thinking, just kept it, And what I learned pretty quickly is that fourth grade, because I was still friends with those guys, moved on from the material that I made even the year prior. That was completely outdated, and they moved on very, very quickly. And so I was holding on to these lessons and things that I had created, and 10 years go by. Were I to go back and teach fourth grade again, I wouldn't even be using that old stuff anyway. So this is all to say, this is a great time to just get rid of stuff. Let it go. Let it just fade away in a nice memory, and do some spring cleaning here. And it feels good. It feels a little weird to get rid of stuff that you worked hard on creating. But if you haven't used it in 10 years, it's just like when you're cleaning out your clothes drawer at home. Have I worn this T-shirt lately? No. Why am I keeping it? It's an opportunity to get rid of stuff. All right. So, couple different ways to tackle this. One way, and I would say for those of you, and I have seen you that have a million documents on your desktop here. First, don't do that because it slows your computer down. But secondly, if that is you, and you don't have to admit to it, the best way probably would be for you to kind of organize that on the desktop, and then you'll be able to move that folder over. So let me show you. I'm going to create a new folder here. And let's just say I'm a fourth grade teacher again. Oops. And I'm putting all of my math material in this math folder. So I'm going to label this math. And so anything that's math related that I want to keep, I'm going to grab it and I'm just going to drag it in the folder. So I'm organizing, right? I'm looking at these things here and I'm saying, okay, this is all math stuff. So I want this to be in a math folder. Now, the great part about this is once I have this folder organized, I'm just going to grab it and I'm going to drag it into my Google Drive. And I'm putting it in this space here because I could put this folder inside of these folders that I've already created. I don't want to do that. I want to create its own brand new folder. So all I do is I'm putting it in my drive. And what it will do is it's going to upload all those documents together. And you'll notice that I have my folder here now. I just organized my drive with math. All right. So I would recommend this to be people that you haven't really organized your drive. You don't use it a ton. This is a great opportunity for you to get organized straight away, which we all know is always so difficult. So I'm going to get rid of this because I don't need this on here. And I'm going to, I need to bring this over a little bit because so remove my screencast if my stuff's in the way. And I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to move all that stuff into the trash. So it existed in Drive. It was also existing here on my desktop. All right, so there's all that stuff on my desktop. Okay, now, so that's one way. That would be if you have a lot of stuff on your desktop and you want to organize it while you're getting rid of it. All right, so I'm going to close this out, and then I'm going to get rid of this file here. Now, if you just have a couple things on your desktop and you want to bring them over with you, you can drag individual files and you can place them wherever you want to place them. So I'm looking at my Google Drive here now, and I'm going to say, okay, so I have this solvent time piece, and that goes in my test files, okay? And I want to drag this over to my test files. That's all I have to do. I grab it and I drag it over and I place it right in there. So it's going to automatically just upload it right into the test files. Right? I already have that in there. So it's just saying that you already have a duplicate in there. And so when I go into test files now, I'll see my solving time. All right, that was practicing before I had all right, and there's solving time there. All right. Now, if let's just say I have more files that I'd like to take over, maybe these PDFs because I'm using an annotator to draw over the PDFs, or I like to use these and pop them in the Jamboard and let the kids draw on them, something like that. I can stay in here. So I'm in my drive, I'm in test files. I could grab these three and just drag them in, okay? Or if I'm at a higher level organization-wise, I go into my test files here. I can just grab these three and just drag them into the file that they need to go. And see how it's highlighted in blue there, saying that that's exactly where that's going to go. If I were to come down, it would go into these different Kami uploads, okay? If I wanted it to just be independent files, I'm not exactly sure where I want them to go, I can just drag them, and notice how the entire box is now blue, stating that it's just going to be not in a file folder, just someplace blue there. But I can move this around. And I can put this in my esports folder if I wanted to organize it that way. All right, so that's kind of the nice part here is there's like everything else anymore, there's multiple ways to tackle the problem. All right, last thing that I wanted to share with you, and I know a lot of people have a lot of flip charts still that they were going to want to take forward with them to be using. Joey put on all the devices, Mac or PC, Active Inspire. So it is on all of the devices. And so if I were to come in here, I'm going to grab this section 6.3 flip chart. This is one I was practicing with when I was working with a teacher. I'll bring it into my test files over here. So I'll bring this over, and it's already uploaded it. And when I look at the test files, you'll see that they're in here. Now, these are all flip charts. They're called flip charts. They're noted as flip charts. But right now, Google isn't seeing that it's an Active Inspire. Google doesn't have an online version of Active Inspire. It's too big. You have to have the program of Active Inspire on your computer to be able to open up these flip charts. This is saved here, though. These are all ready to go. They're saved here. And so what I can do now is if, it's Tuesday morning, I'm coming in, I'm getting myself set up in the morning, and I know I'm going to be using this 3.2 flip chart here, estimating products. Well, I'm going to double click on it, and it's going to say no previews available. Once again, that's okay because Google doesn't have an Active Inspire that kind of runs with it. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to download that file again. And once I have this file, it takes 2 seconds, and it's just going to open it right up for me. And you'll notice that it just opens up Active Inspire, and then I'm ready to go. I have my lesson. It's right where I want it to be. Okay? So in a way, I kind of re-downloaded. I took what was on my computer, I loaded it up to Google to then bring it back down from Google. But it's a place now where I have access to this. It's saved on the cloud. I will never lose this lesson, and I have it. It's always going to be ready for me here. And I still have all my tools and things like that. Okay, so I know that was a concern for some people, and that was the one that we worked through quite a bit to solve for you guys. So you still will have access to these things, and you'll still be able to use them. All right, and I know that's what's most important. Okay, so hope this works out for everybody. I'll be here all summer if you're having trouble working with your computer, and I'd be more than happy to help anybody out.